Hello, good morning. My name is Jorge, and I'm going to talk about chapter 6. I'm going to explain the subtitle 1 called Planetary Boundaries. This chapter talk about how sustainable development has three needs to achieve. The first one is economic growth, the second one is social inclusion, and the third one is environmental sustainability. First, I want to talk about Thomas Robert Malthus. This guy wrote an essay about the principle of population, and he talks how humanity has become so numerous that one day that the world needs more water, more light, more everything because we are more people, and that someday that is not going to end well for the earth. I think that it's very important in this chapter what he talked about because it's true. And then are the nine planetary boundaries. The first planetary boundary is climate change. This is the result of the rising levels of the greenhouse gases. That includes carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. What these do is they warm up the planet. Greenhouse gases allow income the solar radiation, the ultraviolet radiation, and this is going to end up warming the planet. The most important of the greenhouse gases is the carbon dioxide, and is the main source that comes from burning coal, oil, and gas. The second one is the ocean acidification. Is going to decrease the pH of the earth oceans caused by the uptake of carbon dioxide. The third one is the ozone depletion. It's a major environmental problem because it increases the amount of UV, the radiation of the sun, in the surface. The next boundary is pollution caused by excessive flows of nitrogen and phosphorus, especially as a result of a heavy chemical fertilizers that they use in the agriculture. The fifth planetary boundaries arises of the overuse of freshwater resources. Because humanity and other species need a lot of water, so we're going to end up with the amount of nothing, and we need water to survive and to do agriculture and other things. The sixth planetary boundary is island use. Many regions of the world were once dense forest and now farmland or cities. Everything is getting populated or with people and destroys the habitats of the species. The seventh planetary boundary is the biodiversity. Humanity is massively disrupting biodiversity because we're doing so many things. We are pollution. We do pollution in all the world. Humans are like overpopulation, everything over. We are like attacking all the natural resources, and we are getting like bad results of that. The eighth planetary boundary is aerosol loading. We burn coal, biomass, diesel fuels, everything that gas that go to the air start making pollution, and that's a bad thing. And the last one is chemical pollution. That became from the industries, the big factories that all they are working and throwing like smoke in the air, petrochemicals, and they are not processing or taking care of that, and it's something that it's deteriorating the atmosphere. Um, and at the end of the day, we live in this world, and we are ending it. Like their own humans. So that chapter was very important. I think it was very interesting, and that's it.
Topic 2: Growth Dynamics. It's a stunning reality that the humanity is already pushing against the limits of Earth's planetary boundaries. Yet, the environment pressures are likely to increase in the future, not decrease. That is because the world population and the gross domestic product (GDP) per capita both continue to grow. How to recognize the continued growth of the world economy and the sustainability of the Earth's ecosystems and biodiversity? This challenge is profoundly significant and profoundly challenging. To get a quantitative sense of extent of this challenge, let you first consider the amount of the pent-up growth that is now in the world economic system. It is true that the converse in income levels is not likely to occur by 2015. Today's developing countries are not likely to earn close to the per capita income gap the high income countries by mid century. The convergence theory helps you understand why the developing countries are indeed achieve faster economic growth than the high income countries. What would this gradual convergence imply for total world production and the resulting planetary pressures? To answer this question, we need to know at the population dynamics as well. As now today's population of 7.2 billion people will or reach 8 billion people around 2024. We live in a world already bursting at the seams, with humanity pushing against planetary boundaries. We also live in a world where the developing countries seek to close the income gap with the rich world and have the technological means to do so over time. In order to recognize the growth that the world would like to see with the ecological realities of the planet Earth, we are going to need the world economy to develop in the fundamentally different way in the future. Thank you.
Hey, well, I'm going to talk about the case of the energy. Of all the planetary boundaries in the world, none is more important to do something about it and more urgent to change than the world energy system. Since the Industrial Revolution, the world developed in a way that we're very dependent on fossil fuels. And well, the fossil fuels are definitely the main reason why we live in modern day. And but also there's it is the reason that many of the problems that we are having right now. And well, some people just may say, okay, fossil fuels do energy, so we just need to use a little more energy. But that's not something that is really possible in the world that we live today, because uh, more energy means more ability to work, more ability to do business, more ability to do anything. So we need to do uh, energy, but in a more sustainable way. So, well, without getting really in the details about the numbers that the chapter said, the thing is that 14 billion tons of CO are right now in the air, in the ozone, that is really that is making the world warmer. How much? Where scientists say that the world could be 2 degrees Celsius hotter than where the temperatures were in the Industrial Revolution. And I know that it made 2 degrees. It might not feel like a lot. It might like it's simple. I mean, it's not too much, but in planet standard, it's really a lot. And that's the reason why right now there are more floods, there are more droughts, and there are more extreme storms. And if the temperature keep rising, well, we will have more that, and most important, more melting in the ice sheets. So we really need to do a change right now in that aspect.